Live, this is Good Morning Texas.
Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and those dealing with depression, stress, or mental fog can now turn to the Institute for Hormonal Balance, a health, wellness, and aesthetic clinic offering a non-invasive brain stimulation procedure called ExoMind. Here to tell us more about it is the Institute for Hormonal Balance owner and nurse practitioner, Mandy Cotton. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. So first, can you tell us a little bit about the Institute for Hormonal Balance and what you guys specifically offer?
Yes, so the Institute was actually founded 40 years ago by my dad. He is a world-known gynecologist, and what he saw over the years is that as he kind of aged with his patients, all of his patients that he had delivered and all of that kind of stuff were starting to struggle with hormonal issues. And so he actually had a patient come to him and say, hey, I heard about this really new up-to-date hormone therapy, and it's called pellets. And he said, okay, let's do it. And so he did, and he started another company called BioT Medical, and he and I together, we've trained over 4,000 practitioners nationwide in hormone optimization. Wow. And so I think our biggest focus and what that story shows is that we really focus on listening to our patients. I have so many patients that come to me and say, I said this, I told my doctor this, I know something is wrong. And what I've determined and what I've seen throughout the 10 years that I've been a nurse practitioner is that when somebody says there's something wrong, there's actually something wrong. And as a provider, I think it's important that we listen to that. So we really focus on hormone balance and giving patients the best option.
You know, I'm glad that you
themselves.
said that you mentioned that as far as listening to your patients, because I think a lot of people can identify with that and telling your doctor that there's something wrong or there's something going on and they're not necessarily listening and you're constantly advocating for yourself. And so I love to hear you say that you guys, that your mission is all about listening to your patients. I want to expand upon ExoMind, because when we hear that, I think of, I don't even know what to think of. I don't even know what comes to mind. I just knew it's probably a new technology. So if you could, can you expand upon what it actually offers the patient?
Yes. So what I've seen over the years is hormones help a lot with mental stability, anxiety, focus, depression, all of those types of things. But especially post-COVID, I've seen a lot of patients really struggling to recover from the depression, the anxiety, the social isolation that they've experienced during this period of time. And so when ExoMind came out, I said, I'm going to go to this conference. I'm not buying anything. And I took my office manager with me. I said, we're not buying anything. She said, okay. And then I left the room for 30 minutes. I came back and I said, I bought something. And she's like, I knew you were going to. So ExoMind is a new technology. TMS has been around for a long time. It's a magnetic stimulation for the brain that actually helps with neuroplasticity. So it actually targets an area of your brain that helps with focus. It helps with depression. It helps with anxiety, memory, PTSD, OCD. And so when I heard all of those things, and it's non-invasive, it's not painful, it's not over-medicating patients. And so when I learned all of that in the conference, I said, we have to have this for our patients.
You know, it's funny that you said, oh, I'm not going to buy anything, I'm not going to buy anything. But I think we know as women, when we go shopping, we're like, even if it's for medical gear or for anything, listen, it's girl math, okay? It was bound to happen. Yeah. And so if you could, because you're talking about how you guys have evolved over the last 40 years, what other cutting edge procedures do you guys have?
Well, my focus has really been to provide procedures in the office that other patients, really myself, I buy things that I would want to use. And so focusing on non-invasive cutting edge technology such as mSculpt Neo. mSculpt Neo is a device that helps build fat and burn muscle all in one treatment. And it's really nice because, again, it's not painful. You have zero downtime. You're helping people develop their core strength, which is great for not just body composition and contour, but also for muscle strength and stability for back problems and bladder problems.
Wow. Wow. So you can use it for a slew of different things,
Definitely.
basically. Nice. Yes. Nice. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more, because you guys have a special event that you're offering this month, which is actually Mental Health Month, so this is a perfect time to do it. Tell me what you guys have going on.
So we're actually doing our Exo Mind in Motion event on Friday. It's going to be a combination of a presentation more in depth on Exo Mind and TMS technology, as well as Pilates and just a wellness event. So a time when people can come do live demos on mSculpt and Exo Mind and really see how the technology works, ask questions, and also clear their mind with a little stretching.
There you go. There you go. Well, you had me at Pilates and mSculpt because I saw that and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, if they can actually get everything that I needed to do as just that jolting motion, I think we're in business there. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate you being here. And then the Exo Mind launch party is this Friday, you guys. It's from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Institute for Hormonal Balance Arlington location. All you have to do is go to RSVP. All you have to do is call 817-467-7474. And to learn more information, you can visit DONOVITZ.com.